Hi, this is Shelly Craft coming to you live on SNN Live. We're at the Cambridge House, California Resource Conference 2013 in Indian Wells, California. I have Mr. Benj Gallander of Contra the Herd, newsletter and speaker at the Cambridge House Conference. Ladies and gentlemen, say hello to Benj. How are you?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm good. So what did you speak about today?
I spoke about contrarian investing and how we buy into companies and the contrarian method that we use, which is different from a lot of other investing methods.
Well, let's talk about being a contrarian, which is against the tide, which is against the herd. And it's almost as if you have to know what the herd is doing to become a contrarian. Isn't that true?
Well, what the herd is doing is often fairly obvious. The bigger question is when to go against the herd. And then once the herd perhaps joins you, then how long to stay with the herd before you decide to jump off and be independent again.
So, as a contrarian, what is your opinion on gold?
You know, I have no strong opinions on gold. I would say in most cases about most things I don't have strong opinions, because too often people choose to be one way or the other when often there isn't a valid reason to go against or go for. But what I do is I look for the obvious. And gold could be higher now, could be lower, not as interesting. What was far more interesting the past few years was U.S. financials.
So what are you talking about if someone's coming to you, they read your newsletter, and what are they picking up? What are the morsels that are giving them an indication of what they should invest their money in?
Well, they can see that in our portfolio, which has 23 stocks, that they'll see 5 financials in the portfolio and a heavy weighting to financials, U.S. banks. So there's an indicator of a field that was very out of favor, seems to be coming back into favor. The question is, where does it go from here?
So I got it. I would probably agree that that would be a contrarian position to take, the U.S. financial institutions, because basically they've been hammered.
They've absolutely been hammered. And when we bought into Bank America and announced to the public, a lot of people thought it was kind of crazy. And we bought a lot of U.S. smaller banks, and people were wondering. But we were buying into some banks that had not lost money over the course of a year during the recent recession and were paying a dividend. So we could hope for capital appreciation plus collect the dividend at the same time.
So when you come to a resource conference, don't you get queried on what your opinion is about the, let's say in particular, the junior mining sector?
Oh, I get asked all the time. And right now I don't find that mining is way out of favor. A lot of the people here think that it is because it's difficult for mines to raise money. But when I bought big into the mining sector was soon after Bre-X, when gold had tumbled from over $800 to under $300, and I was buying into the Kinross's, Inmets, or Resources, and I was buying into them under $5 a share. A lot of people don't remember that and can't believe I'm that old, but that's really where I was.
So I won't say that I remember that also, because I don't want to be as old as you are.
Shelly, you're just a youngster compared to me, but, you know, looks sometimes are even deceiving.
Like a contrarian would say. Exactly. So, Benj, you're also an author, aren't you?
I am. I have 3 best-selling books, and the one that's been selling mostly now is A Contrarian Investors 13. One of the books has been out there for about 25 years and still sells, and hopefully they will continue to sell.
You're like a professional contrarian, aren't you?
I always was, and I have 3 older sisters, and they would concur. Sometimes they thought I was just a little strange, but really I was a contrarian waiting to develop.
Ladies and gentlemen, a contrarian persona non grata, even in the family. What are your websites?
It's www.contratheherd.com, CONTRATHEHEARD.com, or if you throw my name into Google, you should get a few hits.
Ladies and gentlemen, Benj Gallander from Contra the Herd, newsletter and speaker. We are at the Cambridge House, California Resource Conference 2013 here in Indian Wells, California. I'm Shelly Craft. This is SNN Live. I want to thank you for coming on to SN Live.
Pleasure, Shelly. Thanks for
And I mean it. I'm not just being a contrarian.
And I appreciate it. I really enjoyed it.
You got it.